About a week ago, I lost someone that was my best friend again in my life. Had in my life, you know. Hold on, maybe I gotta make this lighting a little better. Okay, hold on. So, basically, this friend that I lost now, he was a friend that I didn't even understand how much of a friend he was, how he really was my best friend until he passed. You know, like I didn't label him my best friend when he was alive, but you know, he was the only person I can think of that would hit me up a lot. You know, trying to hang out, who I would see around, hang out with, and who would listen to the ideas. Hey, thank you, Frank. Hello, King. And just a few days before he passed away, um, we were hanging out, and I was showing him this communist podcast called the Deprogram. It's on YouTube, all the episodes. You know, I share it if you go to the community tab of my channel, I share a lot of the episodes. And the last night I hung out with him a few days before he passed. I was showing him one of the episodes of the Deprogram podcast, and it was very, very simple. It wasn't even very complicated. I want to say I will try to go back and look at the comments, but I just allowed the comments so people could also talk to me right now, but I might not see all of them right now. I just really want to get out what I have to say right now, so I'm not trying to ignore you guys. I will tell you guys how he passed it in a second. And it was just an episode about the Afghan war, you know, and I think it wasn't as in-depth into explaining, capitalism itself and imperialism as it could have been. You know, it wasn't like one of the best educational episodes. It was very educational, but not like one of the best episodes that I could show somebody to really convince them about socialism, you know. But it was just the episode that I happened to be on, you know, and I was just hanging out with them. We were listening to it, and he says, "Wow, you know," he said, "if this is what communists, you know, are really like, these are really peaceful people, you know, like these people really just laid it all out, just really are speaking real shit right now." And I was so happy he said that, because it wasn't even like the most educational episode that that I thought about. And you know, he's actually the same one. If anybody remembers, a few weeks or a few months ago, whenever I had that video, it was conversation with a native friend. You know, and we sat, and me and my native friend talked. Coda, or Matthew was his name. That was him. And so, you know, if you guys want to remember his memory, you know, that you can. But you know, for his memory, I think it's important. You know, he was an indigenous native person. You know, and he told me he was the first member of his tribe to travel as far as he has outside of their reservation. You know, and that's crazy for me to even. And I think a lot more people here might even understand how crazy is that to think about. You know, how the United States forced him and his people on this small amount of land, and he was the first one who had traveled this far outside of it. You know, and so, you know, I had a lot of memories with him, and he was the most receptive person in real life. You know, because on the internet you can find people from all over the world who can agree with you, but in real life it's a lot harder to find people who are being deprogrammed, who are not brainwashed by the imperialist colonizer nation, and him, being a native from the reservation, it was easier for him to understand, the oppression of this white supremacist colonizer state, and before he died, he really, he really appreciated it. And for the people asking how he passed, it's very hard for me to come to terms with that. When it first happened, I had one of my friends say, hey, I don't accept that. We need to pressure them to do more of an investigation and all this, because they couldn't accept it either. And at the time, I just didn't want to deal with it, and, because I was just trying to process my emotions from him passing. But, basically he drowned. Apparently he didn't know how to swim, and he went out on the boat on the lake, and they were jumping into the water, And apparently the story is that the boat drifted too far away because of the wind or something, right? And they couldn't get to him. And the thing is, other people have been telling me that, he wanted to conquer that fear of not being able to swim. Other people have told me that the guy, was like, okay, let's conquer your fear of swimming, and then took him out in the middle of the lake, and then just he let him jump in, without any life vest or anything, which to me is crazy. I would never, have my friend, jump in the middle of the lake where they could drown without even a life vest. He was my age too, 26, the same age as me. He might have been a little bit younger, a little bit older, but I know he was, my age or 1 or 2 years off. And, it's just, when it first happened, I didn't want to speculate on anything about it. I just wanted to process what his life meant for me, and how I want to change to be a more better person and be the best person I can to honor the impact that he had on my life. But I just saw this video yesterday, and I just feel crazy saying this, but it's like, I don't, like, I'm not a superstitious person. I try not to be. I'm a Marxist, but I literally just saw this video yesterday as I'm coming to terms and processing all this, of this white blonde influencer girl. I shared it on my Facebook. You can go look. And she pushed it. She tells this like bigger girl, who says she doesn't know how to swim. She tells her, oh, you should just jump in, and they're at the dock. And then she's like, okay, I'm gonna jump in. She's like, do it. And they're filming her, and she jumps in, and then they just walk away, and she's saying, I can't swim. And she's like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. Like she can literally die. Like just walk away, and it just literally. Out to the lake when he knew he couldn't swim, and then he drowns. Well, apparently there was no foul play suspected, but it just hurts my heart, because at this point, with this negligence or foul play, it's still hard for me to. I say again in the title, because a few years ago I was maybe 19 or 20. I think I was 9. I'm not sure if I was 19 or 20 at the time. Probably 19, maybe 20. And so hear me out. It's gonna take a while to explain this all, but just hear me out, right? I was with my friend, my best friend since elementary school. We were both Italian, both from Long Island, New York, and we met each other in elementary school in North Carolina, and we were friends all the way past high school. Like even after, when we became adults, like I lived with him. We had an apartment together. Me, his brother, and his girlfriend. And he was my best friend. He was the only one when we were kids who ever stood up for me. Like if anyone's like, oh, trying to pick on me or fight me or anything, he would jump in. You know what I'm saying? So he was always. I always knew that was my best friend. But his parents were both on drugs, and so is he. So his mother actually had cancer, which nobody else really knew except for some people in the family until after she died. And basically, I was with him. I was with him. He was over at the place I was staying. We were hanging out, and he gets a call, and that his mother passed. He's all emotional. He leaves to go get a ride to go check on his mother, and he got worse off on dope. I want to keep this live stream on subject, but I do want to honor if somebody helps me out. Thank you so much. Somebody sent me $25 and say, may God bless and comfort you. God bless you. I really appreciate that. I know a lot of people don't believe me, so I kind of been delaying saying this, but or maybe not saying it at all, just showing it that I don't want to beg anymore. I want to make more serious content and be respected more by my viewers, and be a better socialist to honor my friend's legacy. But I'll get to that. I'll get to that part. That's just a brief synopsis. But I really want to continue to explain this, right? He got worse off on drugs, and I had a dealer who I sold stuff for, who had his own trap houses. You know what I'm saying? And one of his trap houses I had a key to, right? And I would run his trap house and sell his stuff and my stuff out of there. You know what I'm saying? And and he wasn't even there. He trusted me that much. But my friend Dominic, I got his name on my arm. I don't know how good it is to be Dom G. He came over, and the thing was, a few different people did come over throughout the day. And anytime anybody else came over, I did not go to the bathroom. I stayed in the living room the whole time because I had some money hidden under the couch. right? And he saw me put it under the couch. But whenever they would leave and it was just me and him there, I would allow myself to go to the bathroom because I trusted him. Whenever the owner of the trap house come back, he's like, oh yeah, let me get that bread. I lift up a couch cushion, it's not there. So I know for a fact Dominic took it. So my dealer guy, he said, yo, you wanna beat him up? And I didn't say nothing, I just told him, look, I'm gonna get you back as soon as I can. And we had a ride coming, and I was gonna get that ride, and I just gave him the money for the ride, told him to take the ride. I said, I don't want to see you, and that was the last time I saw him, And so a few months later, I'm in jail because I got arrested for herb and mushrooms, 2 felonies in North Carolina, and I was in jail for 5 months and then on probation for 2.5 years. And the thing was, when I was in jail, my cellmate also knew Dominic, and he told me, he just figured out that Dominic passed away or whatever, people told him. And it was crazy because actually the day before or a few days before that, I heard Dominic was in the jail also, and I heard he was trying to send me a kite or a little note, to patch things up. And I was thinking in my head, we're just gonna have to fight, and after we fight, we can be friends again because you know what, that wasn't right what he did. But then before I could even get out of jail and fight him and be his friend again, then a few days later he gets out of jail and then he ODs, and so that was hard for me to reconcile with because we weren't on good terms, and he was my best friend all throughout my childhood, And so when I got out of jail, I wanted to be a better person. I didn't go back to selling illegal substances. I got a job. I was steady working, doing it the right way, and I got a girlfriend. We went to church together. And she would say, oh, you got to get a car. You're not doing good enough, blah, blah, blah. And I said, look, I told her, look, if my brother Dominic could see me right now, he said, don't even worry about it. You're doing great. You're doing great. Because what I was before and then being a responsible citizen afterwards, So she just didn't get it, I guess, But, and so the other night, sorry, my phone dropped. So the other night, this thing that David just said in the chat, I never had anything like that. This person's crazy. That's why I kind of didn't even want to let comments, enable comments on this live because of all the trolls, and it's a very serious topic for me. But the thing was, when my friend Coda, who's I realized now he was my best friend, that I had until he just passed. He was someone who could actually understand what I was talking about and was actually receptive to what I was saying. Who actually wanted to hang out with me all the time. Oh, I'm so glad you're here. Let's smoke a split, man. At least somebody will hang out with me and not ignore me. And, even though he's passed now, we'll just remember and him saying that to me, makes my heart feel so much better. I know I was there for him, And so the thing is, the last night I saw him, he's walking up to the place. I'm on the front porch because, we hit up each other like, yo, let's hang out. He's walking over, and as he's walking up to the porch where I'm sitting, he's on the phone. And so when he hangs up the phone as he walks up, and he says, I just found out my younger brother, just got shot in the head. And from his understanding, his brother's passed. From his understanding at that time, and from my understanding, his brother's already passed. After he passed a few days later, somebody else who knew his family is telling me his brother's still on life support in critical condition at the hospital. I don't know the condition now. That was a week ago. But regardless, if he was in critical condition on life support, unconscious, or if he was actually dead, it gave me a comfort because me and my other friend who knew him and other people who knew him, we believe in our hearts that he went to be with his brother. Even if his brother does make it back into the conscious domain, even if his brother does regain consciousness, we know about near-death experiences. We know at that time you can still be in the spirit realm or whatever's next. Even if you're in life support in critical condition. So whether his brother, ultimately passed away from the shot in the head, to to him recovering and gaining consciousness again, whether either possibility. I know in my heart that he went to be with his brother. Thank you. I want to say thank you to all the people who are displaying sympathy or empathy for what I'm going through right now, and I appreciate you guys listening. I did want to go back and read the comments, but and respond to some of them, but I just want to get out everything, that I wanted to say about my friends, so I could, I really wanted to talk about all this, So, it brings me huge comfort because, when I got a text from somebody, a mutual friend. He told me that he just died yesterday, and at first I was hoping. I said, I really hope he didn't do it himself because he's so upset about his brother. I was hoping that wasn't the outcome. But then when I heard it was an accidental drowning, no matter how sad that is to think about how he felt in that moment, how scared he must have felt in that moment in his human form. It just really, with the closeness of the events, it's literally only 3 or 4. Little brother got shot in the head. Looked up to him and his little brother, and so it really makes me believe that 100% that he did go for. They wanted to be with each other, and so I just I told some people, I don't choose to believe in God. Like, I really don't, like it's so deeply ingrained in me that it's just an unquestionable part of my life, and it's like whenever something like this happens to me, losing someone so close to me, and especially with the fact that he was literally the most receptive person, the person, and I wanted to say this. I haven't told anybody this because I just felt like it would be easier to say to his cell phone screen than to have somebody in person. But I just wanted to say this, that it's real. Just a week or 2 before he passed, maybe 3 or 4, I was somewhere in a public place and I saw 2 old men. One was white, one was native, indigenous, and they were friends talking to each other. And I said, that'll be me and Coda one day, God willing. I really saw in them. I said, that'll be us one day. He's such a good friend. I know that's a friend for life, Nobody that I'm talking about, nor I, is what these comments, crazy people are coming in here, trolls saying. But not I or my friend. These people just, they really want to distract me from being able to really say what I want to say and have this moment. But so when something like this in my life happens, it not only makes me have to deal with, my connection with that person, but also my connection to God, my belief in God. So, it always brings up my relationship to God when I lose somebody so important. I remember when Dominic passed. Yeah, it was in Lake Sisikio. And when Dominic's mother passed, he told me he doesn't believe in God anymore, and he just believes in science. And I always have still believed in God, and I tried to rationalize it to myself at the time. And even now, I say I believe 100%. Now, God doesn't care if you believe in Him or not. If you believe in science or God or whatever, or if you believe in both, whatever, it doesn't matter. It just matters your heart and who you. Thank you, Eric. And with Coda passing. And that as long as I live on this earth, he will be here to give me some energy and support, and emotional, spiritual support to continue, and to continue to strive for a world without oppression. He's on a new journey now, but I believe wherever he is, he respects me for continuing my journey to end oppression of man by man, of humans by humans. Something that he can really understand. He could really understand as a native indigenous person. And a few years ago, I understood that even if I don't manage to convince a certain person in one conversation or in any conversation about socialism, I get better at conversating about it, at addressing common points or bullet points or common misconceptions or common propagandized points that phrases that people know. And I learn more and I get better at being an educator. So, it's a little hard for me to, it's been really hard for me to not base my content around begging because it's definitely helped me gain traction and views and followers. But I want to make more serious and educational content. I feel like that's my duty, and I want to honor the people who support me. So at this point, I'm going to go back in the comments and try to respond to all of them, unless they're hate comments or negative or trolls, because I've come to a point where I'm not finding any. So, bless you, Frank. Hello, King. Hello, Julie. How you doing? God bless you. God bless you, Gencourt. Truth, yes, says no Assassin's Creed. Hey, thank you, Pockety. I also believe that 100% that he is watching over me, as well as Dominic. I believe they're both with me. Hello, Esther Lance. How you doing? God bless you. Hello, CC Morgan from South Wales, UK. I'm feeling a lot better than I was last week. That's why I haven't been on. I don't know if I would have been able to handle all these trolls last week when I just heard the news of my best friend dying again. Second best friend I've had die, No, I am not related to Joe Biden. I talked about it already, but in case you missed it, he drowned. He didn't know how to swim in the lake. Thank you, Lisa, for saying sorry for my loss. Yeah, he was in a boat with a friend. I don't know this friend. I don't know this person he was in a boat with. He said, keep talking to Mother Nature. Yeah, I support that. I think it's good to love and respect and care for the earth, Hockey saying they know what would chill me up, the Tuna Mel song. I don't think so. Honestly, I really don't think that would. I'm serious faced, okay? I'm serious faced because I have to be a better educator. I see people asking, what are we manifesting today? You know, I'm just gonna have to. I was gonna make a short video before I went live today, but I said, you know, I guess I'll just make it after. I don't really believe in manifestation. Okay, I talked about my qualms with it before about how you know, you can't just expect Palestinians to just believe that they're going to be free. They have to defend themselves and fight back for their freedom. You know, so you know, it's a very privileged thing to believe that the universe is going to give you special favor to get a little money and not think about all the people and expect that that's the answer to the world's problems. The answer to the world's material problems lies in material solutions. You know, so it lies in science and organizing the labor force and the most effectively to fund the industries that help the people's needs, not the wants of, you know, whoever got money from their parents to become a multimillionaire or billionaire, and then it's the boss, you know. So, you know, you trying to use the law of attraction or manifestation. It was a fun gimmick, you know, to try to make begging online more fun, more even you know, on a, you know, base, you know, in a almost satirical level, more how you call it, more acceptable even. You know, there's a lot that goes into it, but at this point, I don't want to do that anymore. You know, I do appreciate any donations, and I put the poll. I even put the poll in my chat today. You know, with my Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. But I don't want to make that the focus of my live stream, and to it just be about begging. I want to make educational content. I want to make content that makes people think about life, and want to, you know, take action and be better people and do more for the future of this planet and for the next generations. So I just want to be a better person, you know. So that's where I'm at right now. And for me, honestly, 100%, it's the fact that my belief in God tells me that if I don't take these lessons to heart and change, you know, it's like God took, like I was just being a beggar and a socialist and just talking to my friends about it and mentioning it online sometimes. But, you know, then God just took away the number one person in my real life who was the most receptive to these ideas. Now it's like imagine, like, for all the non-communists out there, you know, I think you might be able to imagine, if I put it this way, right? Imagine you're a socialist, a communist. You want to organize all the working class, all the people. You've been a failure. You've been not very good at this. So you say, you know what? I got to get more. You know, if I at least just talk to every person I know, if I at least tell everybody I know in real life, at least plant a seed somewhere, and then one person in your real life, you really see the seed start to grow, and you start seeing stuff to sprout, and you're thinking like, wow, finally some is more receptive who told me before, oh, communism always ends a dictatorship, literally a few weeks before, you know, and it's not gone because I'm making a conscious decision for his life and his passing to have an impact on me, to make me a better socialist, a better communist, somebody who's going to spend more time educating people and using the platform online he has to educate and reach more people and hopefully help people. Yeah, my friend Dominic from childhood passed many years ago. Another best friend I just had, who was my best friend recently, just died also. Thank you, Christian. You said sorry for your loss. I'm pretty behind in the comments, I think, but I'm somewhere in the comments, and I'm gonna try to reply to as I go through. So you look like you're eating good, my friend. Thank you, Renee. God bless you. Thank you, Jose. I appreciate you saying R.I.P. and sorry for the loss. Thank you. So why are you always in the woods, TF? Well, why not? You tell me. God bless you and your mother, Pocketing. Hello, Zoe. How you doing? God bless you. Now, I do not believe in the law of attraction and manifestation. As I said, you know, I try to use it to have more fun with begging. You know, The winner of the struggle emerges. A damn bug just flew on my fucking head. The winner of the struggle emerges. Fucking shit, man. Sorry. This is fucking nuts. The winner of the struggle emerges, and then a new struggle of contradicting forces is made. And this is how the whole world works and society. But let me continue with the comments. You said, how am I not burning up in the short? Because I'm in the shade. And it's a little loose, so the wind flows through it. Hey, thank you, Joshua. God bless you. I saw your comment that you said sorry for my loss. Thank you, Eric. I never said I believed in the law of attraction and manifestation. If you go back and watch my live streams, Wilkins says, oh, so you've been lying to us. Now in a few weeks you're going to say you don't believe in God. No, I never actually said I believed in it. I said I was on the fence, and I think that was a valid thing to say at the time. You know, and I said, let's find out if it's real. You know, it's all in the wording. But I do 100. You know, and I always will. I such to understand this world and science, and that is God's, you know, God giving us the opportunity. You know, I don't think that faith alone can do anything. I think it takes action. I think faith can be a very strong motivator for action, and that's what my faith is for me. What my faith, what my belief in God and a higher power is for me is my biggest motivator in taking real action, because I know that this faith alone is worth nothing in this material world. Yes, when I die, I think it's going to be worth something, you know. But I don't think that if an atheist dies, he's going to hell. I don't believe that. I 100% believe that a good atheist who cares about people and is a good person in their life will go to heaven or be reincarnated, whatever their soul chooses. That's what I believe. I don't believe God judges people just based on their allegiance or loyalty to some image or deity. I think he cares about our hearts and who we are as people. And I think the people who have the biggest hearts and who are the best people figure out that we need to change the society for the better, and figure out that the fact that the richest global empire the world has ever seen still has so many homeless people. In fact, we have more empty houses than homeless people. Said, do I think they have tuna melts in heaven? My concept of heaven is multi-dimensional. I believe you can go to like a 3-dimensional heaven where you can have all the pleasures, material pleasures, spiritual pleasures, you know, mental pleasures, you know, happiness, whatever you could imagine, right? But then I also believe that there's a higher form of heaven that you can reach, where you not only can do all that, but you can go to any time period. You can witness all of history. You can be part of all of history and see all the infinite universes and different worlds, you know? To me, that some people say they wouldn't enjoy that. Oh, that would get boring. For me, I don't believe that. I believe I would love for so many long time, so many billions of years to just witness and take part in all these different understandings and developments, you know? I cannot read Spanish. Hello, Kay. How you doing? God bless you. I don't even know what a tuna melt is, honestly. So how would I know if they eat them in Mexico? I've never even been to Mexico. I've never been to Mexico, and I don't know what a tuna melt is. So what does that tell you? So I'm gonna take some water from the watering hole. Same watering hole me and Coda got water from together. And then I think I've got out everything really important that I wanted to say. And I think I'll start a new live stream. Maybe. To just give this one a close. Have a concise ending to this stream. Have the stream, you know.